Matt Nathanson live on Austin City Limits Radio. So somewhere in the middle of that first song, I took out my phone to look at Instagram. And I'm going somewhere here. Hang on.
Pictures of dogs,
Well,
pictures of food.
so it showed
porn.
me there
I don't know what you have.
71 posts of yours I missed because you know how it shows you they
Yes.
Yeah. So 71, the algorithm has been hiding you from me.
Yeah, it's not fair.
So apologies there. But
I've been liking all your stuff.
I know that's why I feel like that we've been there together. But
I thought we were there together.
yeah. So every once in a while, conceptually, we do this interview thing here where it's somebody that I've asked all the questions of before.
Right.
So we're going to do the Twitter version of this. I'm going
love
to
it.
have you expand out many of these thoughts.
Oh my goodness.
And
Sounds
these are
heavy.
all from the last month.
Okay.
So let's start here.
I'm wearing a sweater, by the way,
Question.
so you know.
I'm pretty much an English breakfast green tea person, not really a huge fan of fruity teas or teas with a bunch of flavors.
Is that really a tweet of mine?
That is a tweet of yours.
Oh my God. That is unbelievable. I would literally make fun of people for tweets like that. Is it a tweet or is it a response tweet? It's
No,
a tweet. It's an actual 211 or whatever they give you.
Yeah, I
That's
only
what
read half
chose.
of it. Yeah, because the next part,
Oh, I don't even want to know.
you
fruity
dropped in
teas.
that you were having some meet and greets, which right there, humble brag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet and greets. Well, that was a pimp, actually. Different. Different than a humble brag. That's more like a pimp. Like, check it out. I got a
But-
meet and greet.
But you did want to offer your fans tea at these meet and greets, and that
Yes.
was the origin of that tweet.
Man,
what did
even
you
in
end up
context,
deciding?
that sucks. Even in context, that's the worst tweet. I ended up. So here's the deal. I've never had a sip of coffee in my life. Maybe when I was a kid, I might have drank. I remember there was cold coffee in the fridge that I thought was Coca-Cola. I came in from playing and I drank it at age 6 or 7. Trauma. I've never had coffee since. So I've never had coffee, and so I was like, oh, if we're gonna do a meet and greet, why don't we in the winter, right? Let's get some tea on, right? And I was like, what kind of? And I realized that I am. As much as I like to think I'm dialed into what human beings like, when I see best-selling movies and best-selling books and stuff like that, I realize that maybe I'm not. And so I'm like, maybe I'm not the guy to pick the tea because what I like, maybe not what other people like. So I was giving the option. We did the same thing we give away these mugs during the meet and greet, and I was like, oh, these mugs are so great. I'm gonna get these awesome travel mugs, and a couple people at my management office were like, well, you should really ask what people want. And I was like, they're going to love this. And we put them up. Which mug would you like? I mean, my mug could not have been less liked. It might as well have just been a pile of cat poo. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, you want this mug or this cat poo? And people were like, I love that mug. So that's what I'm saying. I don't go necessarily with what I want. And so tea-wise, people like fruity teas. This is a fact. People love themselves some fruity teas. And so we tried to do that as best we could. And I'm probably going to end up with a lot of tea at the end of this tour and have no idea what to, maybe take a bath in it.
This one will make you look a little bit cooler.
I mean, that last
So
one
there
is
w-
career ending.
So there was a question going around about your favorite, craziest, I saw them before they were big concert.
Oh, yeah. I bet you have some. I've
Had some.
heard
and,
some incredible
well,
ones from you.
and one of them was Rage Against the Machine at the tiny back room.
Yep.
Only you saw Rage Against the Machine in the mailroom of your college on their 5th gig.
Yeah. So there was
What
two,
do you remember about that?
I mean, everything. So I was in college in Southern California, and we used to bring bands to school, and people were so apathetic that we brought Soundgarden right before they went on tour with Guns N' Roses, and there was 60 people in the room, and it was Bad Motorfinger was coming out. I mean, this is Temple of the Dog. This is could not be more Seattle. Well, nobody cared. I brought Ani DeFranco to my college to play, and there was 16 people there. And so anyway, we would have these shows, and Tool played a Halloween party. And it was because we were so close to Los Angeles that bands would play LA and then they'd want to come make more money. So we paid them, and we went to small school. So anyway, Rage Against the Machine was made up of Zach was in one band and Tom Morello, I guess, was in another band. And they were Lock Out or Lock Up was one band, and then Zach. And they were huge in the Inland Empire where I went to college. And so when Rage happened, my friend Mike Lynn booked them, and they came, and it was we set up a makeshift stage in front of the mailroom thinking no one's going to come, and it was packed to the rafters with like 300 high school students who knew these two people's other bands. And so I was there with my now wife, my then lady friend, and then my friend Max, and we're standing in the back watching this, and Rage plays, and they were fully formed. You can see the show on YouTube.
So that's the one that's on YouTube?
Yeah, if you Google Pitzer College, Rage Against the Machine, 1990, whatever, it's there, and they were so mighty. I mean, it was literally like watching, I'm assuming when Tokyo got destroyed, when Godzilla came in and just started eating people. It was a similar thing. It was just like, oh my God, and they owned it. It was the whole first record. They played everything, bomb track, and he did all the what, and I was like, what is happening? I'm a man folky. I don't even understand this. It was killing. So that was great. I also saw Beck at a coffee shop. I saw Jewel at a coffee shop. That kind of stuff. But yeah, a lot of those kind of shows.
You don't even drink coffee.
No. Isn't that incredible? I threw fruity tea at him.
All right, this one was a retweet from somebody who wrote,
do you know people can see PS? Can I pause you for a second? I didn't know this until I started losing followers. When you retweet things, or when you like things, people see them.
Yes.
Yeah. Oops. Oops, in a huge way. I'm compulsive, so I feel like I can't get past something I like without liking it. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, oh, that's great. Ooh, that's great. Ooh, puppy. Ooh, Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, yeah. And then, like, people in my fans, they get so, it's great. Apparently, all my fans don't feel the same way I do about politics. Because I try very hard to not be political on my Twitter, unless our president is sort of so overtly not doing the thing I like.
You're not trying that hard.
Yeah. Unless our president is doing something that is so like what? You know what I mean? But I try not to get too political. But I like all the tweets that I like that are politically based, and I mean like hemorrhaging people. It's great. I'll be like, whoa, we think we lost like 500 people because the little number ticks. Like it's like, wasn't that a 6 yesterday? Like points, and then it's like, oh, it's a 4 today, and it's like, oh, I know.
So this retweet. I'm sitting at dinner with Matt Nathanson right now, and he just said with a straight face,
oh, yeah.
In high school, I was kicked off the horseback riding team because I refused to stop wearing dangly earrings.
That is the truth, my friend. I got kicked off, and it broke my heart. I was not very good at sports. Not only did I not drink coffee, but I never played team sports. It was more that I didn't believe in teams. And I was athletically challenged. So anyway, I would do horseback riding. I was also the JV girls tennis water boy. Like I did a lot of things that were helpful to me and helpful to them. And so so one of them was horseback riding because I was like, oh, I don't have to really be on a team, and we do this. And then I pierced my ear, and then they said, you can't wear it. And I said, yes, I can. And then they said, well, you can't be on the horseback riding team anymore if you wear them. And I said, I'm not going to wear them. And this is in New Hampshire, rural New Hampshire, where I also had a chain from my nose to my ear. And people, when I wrestled, I'd pierced my nose in the fall, came back to wrestle, my final year of wrestling, another independent sport of one, you know what I mean? Like you don't depend on anybody. And I started doing it, and they said, you have to take your nose ring out, sure, and it started to close the hole up, so I was like, I quit. It was like my 9th year of wrestling. I was finally kind of good, like I knew what I was doing, and I just quit because I was like, I'm not taking my nose ring out. I'm going to wear a chain. And in Boston, people say, at the time, in the 80s, they'd be like, you look like a toilet. One of those old-fashioned toilets. Maybe I'll just come flush you. You know what I mean? I can't go to the accent too much because when I do, I swear. It's part of the, so I can't, but I got,
And you've lived in San Francisco a long time.
Yeah. I mean, if I get into a fight or if I talk to my dad, it comes out like, guy, what's on your face? That thing's heinous.
We'll skip one of the political tweets.
Oh my gosh, please don't.
No, we'll go to this.
I love this.
It's wild. We start our lives completely believing in ourselves. That kind of confidence that a kid has. And then over time, that confidence gets stolen from us by people who have had it stolen from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. But I don't usually like writing victim-y tweets like that, especially being like a straight white man. There's not much victim going on over here. But and I don't like the idea that like, well, people took this from me and but I was thinking about it in terms of like, that's the cycle and that's the sad thing is that like you're youthful. This is what you have when you have a kid. My kid is 8 and I try really hard to not get her to be banged shut by life because she's so wide open and so into love and so into empathy and so into discovery. And every time she comes home from school, we sort of like try and decouple compress, and sort of talk to her about stuff so that we can keep her wide open. Because it's like that's the beauty of being a human. And as you get older, you forget that because you try to fit in, you try to please people who don't matter, and all this stuff just kind of nails you shut. And then all of a sudden you're fitting, because everyone wants to fit when really none of us are actually the same. And so it's like a fascinating idea that we get picked off, and it's usually at the people that we think love us, but really they just want us to not be different than them.
Let's end here without reading one of the political tweets. The response is often shut up and sing.
Oh, yeah.
And you've eloquently
Yeah.
rebutted and explained away why shut up and sing is such an insulting premise.
Yeah, it's look, I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm a human living in this world, and I'm allowed to stand up for injustice, stand up against injustice. I'm allowed to do that. And it's and I get it that I don't know what your life is like. I don't know what someone else's life is like who believes something that I don't believe, and I don't care. I would never put shackles on someone else. For me, it's when they say shut up and sing, I really get so mad that I kind of want to go to where they live and give them a beat down. Truly, I put my I said I left the door open on the bus. I said the door's unlocked, and then they made me take the tweet down. But I was I'm here tomorrow. Come, why don't you come? Let's talk about this, because I have this instinct to fight. But really, it's this idea that nobody wants, you don't have the right to say this. It's they love the Hollywood elite thing. I live in San Francisco. We have one car. I take the bus everywhere. I don't know if that sounds elite to you, but you've got a low bar. Do you know what I mean? Just because I get to play music for a living, which is a gift, that doesn't mean that I don't have the right to express myself when the world, especially when my president of my country is doing things that I think on a moral compass standpoint. And granted, I get it. People think that certain things are moral compass, things that I don't, right? People are really staunchly against certain things, women's rights on a certain level, but they, it's but it comes down to I listen to you wherever you are, banging your keyboard, yelling about stuff. I'm not even yelling. I'm just saying, this sucks. Why are we treating people? Why? The fact that I can say, when I say Black Lives Matter, and somebody tells me you're anti-police, it's well, there's the fundamental problem. If trying to stick up for young black men and women getting killed by police means that I'm anti-police, something is real wrong. Why the hell is that happening? Why is that being flipped? I have uncles that are in law enforcement. But this is how it works. It's nobody wants the power to be corrupt. Nobody wants someone to misuse something, because it's the thing that keeps them in there, making them feel safe every day. Because the fact is, we're just meat puppets hurling through space on a rock, about to, dying. That's literally what we're doing. So it's everybody wants to control it by giving it some sort of meaning. And there's no meaning except that you have to enjoy every minute and treat humans with kindness and empathy. That's it.
Matt Nathanson plays Antones tonight. It's sold out.
Not anymore. It's sold out. Oops. Playing to 3 people with their middle fingers up.
It's the radio. They can't see our crowd.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.